Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Historic District Commission meeting for Monday, April 14th, 2025. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The Maryland Land Use Article empowers Frostburg's Historic District Commission to implement the city's Historic Preservation Overlay District according to the regulations set forth in the Frostburg zoning ordinance. All meetings of this commission are open to the public and conducted in compliance with Maryland's Open Meeting Act. The Frostburg Historic District Commission is charged with the preservation of historic structures and the surroundings within the designated district in order to safeguard the heritage of the city, stabilize and improve property values, strengthen the local economy, and foster civic beauty. Roll call. Dawn Hine, I am present. Vice Chair Joe Hoffman.
Present.
Bill Detterman.
Present.
Rob Rapan.
Present.
Maureen Brewer.
Here.
And our alternate, Daniel Filer, is not with us this evening. So commissioners, if you would please review the agenda, and when you are ready, if I could have a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, the agenda is approved. And commissioners, if you would also look at the minutes from the last meeting, which was February of 2025. And when you are ready, if I could have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, the minutes are approved from February 2025. All right, so that brings us to our project presentations. The only one we have this evening is 33 South Water Street. Is that your project?
Yes.
Oh, would you like to join us up here, please?
Sure. How are you?
Good.
My
So if
name's-
you just introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about your
Yeah.
project.
I know, it's a lot. So my name's Will Coburn, from Frostburg. I teach locally for the county schools. And right now, that is a duplex residence. I'm planning to move into the upper floor once one of my tenants vacates the property in June. And at that point, that's when I'm planning to kind of spruce the place up, hopefully, and make it, a little bit nicer. So to start with the property, I took out the windows and I received a letter from you guys. Stopped work after that. And after examining the windows before I took them out, they were completely rotted through. And much of the plywood, especially on the inside, had rotted. So it was pretty evident that they were shot. And that the plywood indicated that they weren't at least the first set of windows to that house. So with that being said, on the front porch, you can see where I've X'd out, I believe, on that image. Yes. So on this left side of the building, if you're facing it, those windows have been removed.
Okay.
And I would like to keep those removed and make it a front porch with a porch swing, make it look nice. Also, the door has been removed to allow for better flow to the original front door in the house, which I'm hoping to preserve and keep. When it comes to this side, I am proposing to keep that side enclosed and add in a wall on the inside of the porch, just to allow for storage of trash cans and shovels, so that they're not cluttering the porch. Yeah, that's the current picture.
Right.
Yep.
So, what you're planning on keeping the brick in the sill?
Yes, correct.
And then what will go inside the opening then?
So I would keep that window. That one seems to be okay. It just needs repainted.
Okay.
And I would replace these plywood sides. I believe I provided the siding sample in there. I would replace it with
Oh, I
that
see.
siding, which then would match the other portion of the house that I'm hoping to get re-sided.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a concrete fiber.
And this one?
That side I would like to leave open, just to allow for a porch, since the second unit where I'm going to be doesn't have any outside access, unlike my tenant downstairs who has a back entrance and a small porch.
I'm searching for
Yes. Yep. Maybe on
the site. Here it is. Of course, it's the
Yeah.
last one.
and that.
So
I-
this is what you're talking about, keeping this window
Yes.
and filling in what looked like they were shutters or
Yes.
another windows.
Yep, they were shutters on a plywood. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is, I've realized once I got here, I didn't provide paint samples to you guys, but I have them on my phone. This would be like a sage green, so this is just a primer color.
Sure.
So a sage green for the siding, and this would be trimmed out in kind of like not quite a navy color, but like a blue-gray. And then the window itself, I'm hoping to transition the whole house to black exterior windows, which I think accent it a little bit better. So that window will be painted to match the rest of the windows.
So you're doing all of the windows of the house?
Yes, they would all be black, black vinyl replacement, which I think I
Including?
included up and including the basement. There's, I think, 3 windows. Yeah.
So the other windows on the house, they look rather original.
Yes. So I would like to move those to vinyl, black windows.
And, all right, why don't, I'm trying to think about the best way to approach all of this, because what we'll probably do, my guess, is we're gonna have to break this down,
Yes.
don't you
could
think?
do it by sections, the
Do
way
it by
he
section?
has it written out.
Okay.
So-
All right, that may be, is that all right
Yeah.
with everyone?
Yeah.
All right, so let's just talk about the
Yes,
front
okay.
porch, and then we'll
Then
move
the
on
back.
to each section.
That works with me. I know it's a lot.
So just start with, so this is Water Street,
Correct.
what is this?
That's orange.
Orman.
Ormond.
Yes, the corner of Water and Ormond.
Okay, I was
The,
thinking wrong.
the
Okay.
upstairs windows in the front,
Yes.
that's just a insert screen that's black now?
So it is, I believe they are the original windows to the house. They've been painted white by a previous owner. The inside is still the original wood. And then it has older screens on it, yeah.
So you're planning on putting an insert in there
Yes.
that's black vinyl?
Yeah,
And then you're going to paint the framing black also?
yes.
Okay, so let's stay to the front porch.
That's where I'm looking, yeah.
No, just the front porch, not the front windows,
Oh.
just the porch.
Porch,
okay.
Just the porch. Okay, so these windows have already been removed.
Correct.
And your plan is to keep this window
Mm-hmm.
here, replace the 2 sides
With that.
with the siding
Yes, and there's another window that you can't see in this photo
on this.
on that side.
Right,
Yes.
on that side. And you would do the same thing, same treatment on
Yes,
that
black.
side.
Yeah, the trim in the middle and surrounding it would be black to match the replacement windows to go along with the rest of the house.
And then whatever infill would be with the cement siding.
Yes, and then to close that in, because I'd like it to be contained so that trash and the shovels can't be really visible from the street. I'm proposing like a wall in there with a door, and I provided the sample of the door in there.
So that, you're saying that won't be a door anymore?
That will be a door.
That will be-
Yes. I think I stenciled it
I
out.
thought I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
So that would it's another door.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say
You're
that.
just gonna replace that with a different door?
No, that door would stay. I did provide a door, but I've since changed my mind on that.
So is,
No,
That's
that.
not it.
No.
so this one's not,
That one will not be on the front.
right,
No.
okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Here, this one.
That one. That would be on the side.
Okay. So you won't see that from the street unless you're
Correct.
walking down the street this way and then you
Towards Main, you will.
Correct.
Yes. And the same treatment would happen on the inside of the porch there with
So
the new wall.
your walls would be with the siding.
Correct. And the door would receive the same treatment.
This is the door, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So we're
And
not
where is the
doing, go ahead.
door- Where is this door again? I don't see where this door is. Over here?
So it would be right here on
Oh,
the
you're
inside.
saying, Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it, okay. Thank you.
I didn't see it. You, is it a door that's going to go
No.
No.
right here?
It would be over here, like there'd be a wall built right behind this brick
Oh, I
pillar
gotcha, okay.
to kind of separate
Go
the
that
porch.
way.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you will use this side.
Yes, to finish it.
So you're not putting a new exterior door
No.
on the front?
No, not at
Okay.
not at this moment, not this year.
That looks like a nice door.
It is.
Yes.
that-
It
Yeah,
just needs a little bit of
looks
refinishing.
original.
Yeah.
That window's gonna go?
It already has. It's already gone.
That used to be a totally enclosed porch, right?
Oh, okay.
There was even
Yeah,
another
that
door.
there's a better.
So there you can
See the
see,
door and
This is from
everything?
like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So that right hand side would stay with windows on both sides,
Is
and then
That's a pretty new picture.
I think it's
2023.
2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so what happened is he took these two windows out. They sent him a notice to come before the board, so that's all that's been done so far.
And the front door, the front door.
Yes.
Right.
The porch door. See the front. the
Right,
front- the
yeah,
porch
that
door is on
whole
there now. That's
insert
gone
here
now.
is gone as well.
So the
Right,
white door is no longer there.
correct.
And none of the plywood
As
around
well
it.
as the
Right.
frame around.
Which
is
makes
Yes.
it
also
look so
gone.
much
See-
better already.
Yes, I've received a lot of
See,
comments from the
that's-
neighbors. They
See how it
They
was
like it.
like this and then now it's
And
gone.
that's recessed and that's flush with the street, right?
Yes, because
Yes.
that door is gone
That's what's
now.
confusing me.
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
That's old, this is current.
This is
Yes.
Oh, this, oh, okay.
Yes, what you have is current.
Had
And,
that-
and Bill,
Yeah.
you said, okay, if we look at the
Close up.
left-hand
See how it looks
side,
much
Yes.
better on that.
Um,
Oh my gosh, so
you-
much better.
you're gonna have a door or not have a door to that portion of the porch.
So if you're looking at this side and you're walking towards Main Street,
Mhm.
that right-hand side would have a door enclosing the right portion of that.
And what are you going to use for material?
Material would be, two before frame with that painted in the sage green, with the door that you held up a little while ago.
Right.
And on the left side of the porch,
It would,
no door
Looks like
there, it's just totally open.
it would just be open how it is right now.
How
Yep.
he has it now.
Now it'd be easier
Yeah, that's
just to
what
take a
he-
100-foot detour to walk over and visualize it.
Right, yeah. We're just a hop, skip, and a jump there.
And so all of then the windows that we're looking at, they all would be replaced?
Yes,
And the treatment would be as you described?
it would be identical, yes,
Okay.
everything, including those basement windows, the one where the vine is growing out of.
So this is current. That's
And that's,
the new
yeah.
proposed.
Yep, and, I think it fits pretty well. I know I added a few photos just for precedence with other buildings in the historic district, so the Vapor Room has the same kind of black colored windows, so I think it would fit pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think the color would be an issue at all. What I have a concern about is losing the character of the original windows that you have, and then going to just,
So another option that I had was I could do, I don't know what the strips are called.
Mullions.
Yeah, I could
Put that
purchase
in.
windows with that in
That
it,
in there.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that's completely an option.
So there would be the two
Yeah.
on the upper portion.
Vertical ones on the upper
Mhm.
and the bottom completely open.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Is that true all the way around the house?
It is. I think except till you get
Now, the ones on the
Two.
back,
the one on the alley, I think, like where the alleyway between the houses. I think there's a few windows where it's just kind of like single pane because they're only about this big.
Oh, they're smaller scale
Yes.
windows that probably don't open and,
No.
actually, this one picture,
Yes.
that looks like it's already got internal
Okay.
molding in there.
Okay. Yep. And there are a few on the back that the previous owner put in that are vinyl replacements without that in it. So they're just plain windows
these
on the
two.
lower level. Yes, and they do open.
Are you going to do the one in the attics too?
Yes.
And you would consider keeping the mold, or putting the molding into the...
Yes.
I think the mullions would look
I
a
think
lot
it-
better.
yeah.
Jamie, do we have a date on the house?
And I don't know the date either. 19 something.
1910 it says on this.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
1910
Yeah.
circa.
1910.
Okay.
That seems about right. I think, do you know, was the back portion added on at a certain point?
So from what I can tell, both the upstairs and downstairs, the downstairs is now a kitchen in that back area. And I believe it was a porch originally, because there's brick on the inside.
Yeah,
And you can see where a window had been taken out inside the house.
sure.
And then same with upstairs, I refer to it like the sunroom. There's brick along that wall. And you can definitely tell that back upstairs with the cedar shake has been added.
It almost looks like it was a four square and it
Mhm.
ended here, and then
Yeah,
they
they
added
do.
on to the back.
They love the add-on.
Oh,
to
yes.
houses.
Oh, yes. And yeah, they just made it a whole hipped roof
Yes.
all the way around when they added the
Definitely was.
the
You
back,
can see
yeah,
difference
the
there.
line, yeah.
Pretty
It
sure
kind of
on
really
this side.
Especially
fade.
where
I don't think
side
I
the
have
chimney
it.
was on, the old side and the new side.
So can we go
That is
through like your
interesting.
list
Yes.
here and just make
Yeah,
sure that
couple
we've
that
covered
together.
everything?
This-
And then if
Right, and then
Donna,
we
we
can,
can jot
Well-
down any suggestions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This
okay.
whiteboard.
Just jot it down and we'll
Yes.
just do,
Back.
we wanna do a
That's-
motion
I think
for
it's
each
just
section.
like flashing.
yeah,
So removal
So
of
yes,
two windows
obviously there
and
probably
front
was a
door.
porch there.
Yes.
We covered
And that's
that.
all new
The wall
Yeah.
will
brick.
be built
Correct.
for the new
And I don't know
door.
when that was put in place.
Storage area, so this is kind of just an explanation.
Yes.
Do you have a
Use
plan for the
New exterior
entrance?
door.
I do.
We figured
Yes.
that all out.
Is-
Right.
and This white
Siding
paint
and
is gonna
trim,
go.
kind of
That's the
figured that
plan.
out also
Yes.
where that will go.
right.
Window trim.
Fits in
that's
so well.
replacement. Upper porch
It's
finish.
very
The upper
interesting the
portion
way-
of the porch will be encased in wood
Over the
to
years.
close any gaps, and provide a
it
finished
was
look
all
with trim
houses.
painted
There
in.
probably isn't any house that hasn't evolved.
Yes. And
That's what
would
I
you like
want.
to see
What
the
is that
color?
one?
The blue gray?
Yeah.
We don't have to, we don't,
Okay.
we don't have to
We don't
approve your
determine
colors.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
so,
might,
So where it
if
says
you
the
said
upper,
purple with green polka dots,
Yeah,
we might
might-
say,
we
might
might,
recommend something different.
Yeah.
we recommend something different, but if that's what you want to do.
yeah, go ahead.
So the upper porch finish, says the upper portion of the porch will be encased in wood to close any gaps.
Yes.
provide- So where is that?
That is like the kind of white, looks like dental tooth
Oh,
design,
yeah,
and that's
Okay,
just
yes.
that's right now just plastic.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'd like
yeah.
to remove that and just make
Uh-huh.
it a nice smooth
Okay,
look.
Okay.
you change that to wood, okay.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay.
mentioned brick cleaning. It's very, with power washing, just.
No power
Because
washing.
you mentioned
It would-
power wash, so I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
the brick gets
I
cleaned.
lightly sprayed already to just kind of take the road grime off.
Sure.
But really, the brick cleaning is just going to be taking a heat gun and getting rid of that caulk that's on
Oh,
there.
I see what
Yeah.
you're
So
saying.
just really cleaning that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we recommend is just using the gentlest means possible,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't ruin the finish of the brick. Because once you ruin that finish of the outside of the brick, then you get water, moisture that's coming through, and
Right.
then you're gonna have all a host of
Yeah.
other problems. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think down the road, I would eventually like to get the house repointed and fix that. There's like a crack in the,
Yeah.
but that's
Yes.
That's down the road.
It's on the
One
list,
step at a
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, and be careful with the repointing, because these bricks are probably softer than what is made now, and so you have to be careful of what kind of mortar
Okay.
you're using. All right, so are we ready to make a motion on the front porch, or is there any other questions?
I think the only other question I have is, you're going to keep this window
Yes.
here, and that doesn't have any of the molding in it.
No, it does not. So it would stay. I want to say that those windows have been replaced in the past.
They probably were
Just
not
by-
there originally.
Right.
They
It
were
was probably looked exactly
Right,
like
yes.
what you have on the left.
Because you can see the casing to the top, like the concrete. It's all
Yeah.
cracked where they put the 2x4 down in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
you okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right, anyone want to make a motion for the front porch section?
I have studied the application and all relevant documents and presentation related to this case, and I am familiar with the property in discussion, or in question. I find that the proposed changes are compatible with the neighborhood because there is a general compatibility of exterior design, scale, proportion, arrangement, texture, and materials to be used. Based on these findings, I move to approve the proposal because the use of exterior materials are closely similar in appearance to original materials or significant buildings in the district pursuant to section 41J1C.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I would just like to add our discussion about the mullions on the windows. I guess that doesn't apply, well,
It would to the front of the
it
house.
it
Yes.
would, yeah, so let's,
I'm
if
sorry.
we could just
Amend it.
amend it, if that would be all right.
Amend the motion to include, what was that again?
The mullions on the upper portion of the windows. As
Moyens?
mullions, mullions.
Yes.
So
I don't even think I can
when we
say
look
that.
at the redone
Moyens?
picture of the building, the mullions on all windows would be the same design.
Correct.
Except for the one.
Except for
Except
the
for
one
this
that's
one
staying.
that's staying,
Yeah.
right,
Except for this one, and what are
Yes.
you gonna do with that?
correct.
It's just
staying.
it's just being repainted. It's staying.
And on the top,
Yep. They would be to match the other ones. Yep.
So it'll look the same, he's just going to replace all the windows.
Are you replacing the other
Yes, the inside.
one?
Yes. And there is another one behind that, the window that I'm keeping,
Yeah.
that will be
but
replaced.
this
That
window
was-
you're keeping.
Yes, it'll be painted black though to match the replacement windows.
And all the other windows are replaced.
They will be, yes.
They will
Yep.
be.
Okay, we have a motion, right?
Make a
Yeah, we
motion
have
to
a
amend the emotion, the motion. Like to amend the previous motion, to make sure that the mullions are consistent with the existing design of the windows and the mullions
Right, so that the new windows
will be
consistent
consistent.
Consistent.
with the existing window and design, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I think we had an amendment to it, so I think we need a
I'll
second.
the amendment.
Okay,
I'll second it.
and then,
Any further
any other
discussion?
questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, the front porch
Is done.
is approved, yes. All right, so,
already
We,
cover
we
windows?
kind of
Yes, it was
included
just-
windows in the front porch, so.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure it was clear that they would all be
Yes.
replaced, yeah.
So Jamie will assume that both of those sections are approved, the front porch and the windows, we kind of combine them together. Okay, so let's discuss the rear of the house
Yes.
now. Yep. So we finished with that. I'm trying to
I'll give you this one back.
move the other ones out of the way. Oh, I must have more here. There we go. All right. We'll get to the,
The drawing is very crude, so I apologize. Not good at 3D drawings.
Is that shingles up there, or is that slate?
Yes, that's shingles on the side. And I think all the dormers have the shingles from whenever the roof was replaced.
Are they in good shape?
Yeah, I think they're only about 8 years old. Yeah, I've been really impressed. The inside of the house is gorgeous. None of the woodwork has been painted. And
Painted.
Oh, wow.
it's-
oh, that's nice.
Yes, very nice. Has an old laundry chute.
Oh,
And, you know,
okay,
I have one of them.
so, here we go. All right, so siding and insulation. So you're saying that this siding is not original?
From what I can tell, just since it's bricked on the inside, I would assume that that part of the building was added on. I don't know why they would leave brick on the inside of the building.
Yeah.
The brick is on the second floor too?
Yes,
So,
That's what you were saying.
That's interesting.
it is.
It could have been a sleeping porch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something enclosed, yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been similar to the front porch,
Okay.
most likely, if it was a sleeping porch. So it would have had large open windows,
Okay.
maybe screening, maybe not.
Okay.
But it probably would have been more of an open porch.
Okay.
If it, if
Yeah.
you've got some brick, it would have been, towards the bottom.
so if you ripped off the siding,
Mhm.
there would be brick there.
Hopefully, that'd be nice.
You can see it from the inside, so
Yeah.
you would expect.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, there's brick. I guess I should. There's brick on the wall facing interior. There's no brick on the exterior walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's a doorway leading out to that. That's in the brick.
Yeah, that was definitely a porch.
Yeah. That would be my guess.
So you, right here, did you already take something, what is
No,
that?
nothing's been taken out. That's one of the things to discuss with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing's been touched on the back of the house.
Okay, well, we could probably just start with the bullet points going down.
Yeah.
Siding and insulation. Non-original cedar shake siding will be removed down to the studs, allowing for insulation. Installation to improve the home's energy efficiency. It will be replaced with fiber cement siding in the same green color
And
as
that's
the
like
front porch.
that one?
Yes, in a sage green. Yeah, and the windows would be the same and trimmed out in the same color.
Okay.
So, also, you're planning on putting a door in
Yes.
this location so that you can access the new stairs from the
Yes.
second floor.
Yeah, more as, I'm seeing that more as like a safety, just with it
Mhm.
being a
So basically, it's an upstairs apartment and a downstairs apartment.
Yes, and right now the downstairs apartment, the renter has, if there were to be a fire, an emergency, they can exit both ways.
Sure,
Upstairs can only use the original staircase to exit
So
down the main.
down
the
the
door here and
Yes. And
stairwell here?
yes, and a small, there has to be the code, the size porch landing.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably like 5 foot. is
Yeah.
Probably what it has to be.
yeah, the door was the same as that one.
So here, So this is the door being proposed for the new exit
Yes, and it
out
would,
the rear.
it would remove this
That
set of
one.
windows. to be put in.
So,
That set right here is where the door would be.
Okay, and you're bringing a set of steps down from there?
Yes,
Got it.
towards that white structure, which would be
Gone.
removed
That-
and replaced with
And
a,
you can see it on this picture that's kind of from the corner, taken from the back corner.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
page 41, Bill.
yeah, they do,
Does, inside the white structure, that's all brick?
it's brick behind, but the white structure itself is just plywood.
yeah.
So
So that will be removed completely, or no?
That will be removed completely, depending on if the roof can still be used. I would like to have, like a covered small porch as a landing.
Oh,
so the steps would
it would
meet-
come into a covered
Yes,
space.
yes, but not enclosed.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we had the window replacements. Windows, kind of discussed that, will be replaced with the black vinyl windows. The next was the new rear entry door. Any more questions on that?
Yeah, I do. So obviously the door is not as wide as the two windows.
Correct.
So would the siding, would you put the door to like the furthest
I would,
door space to the corner, or?
I would try to center it where those windows are,
Okay,
just because I think it would look more consistent with that. So really, right in the center, with the steps going down, like having the landing right in there, so it's not completely off to the street.
and so the new siding will just
Would
cover
encase.
over whatever is,
There's cedar shakes up there?
Yes.
So
And
you could,
all of the
It
siding that
Like
we are
that.
looking
No,
at
it'll
there
be this,
would
though.
be
Oh, he's gonna
replaced.
take
Yes,
all
with
that
this.
oh, you're
Yes.
gonna take all that cedar
Yes.
shakes off?
Now, is that where you said you were gonna do insulation?
Yes, so once those cedar shakes be taken down, whatever is underneath of it, unless of course it's brick in that inner portion, will be insulated properly with new windows put in.
I guess another consideration with the door is how you enter it from the inside.
Right.
One thing's how it looks from the outside, but you gotta have to make it functional
Yes.
for when you want it.
So it would swing, if you're walking into the house from that porch, it would swing to the right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Towards
towards
the-
Ormond.
Gotta make sure you have enough room to open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had looked at kind of like, it looks like a French door, but only one side's functional, the other side's glass. But I just think logistically, getting that up to the second floor without breaking it
Oh,
would be difficult versus just a single door.
Or a door with side light or side lights. I did that too.
Yes, yeah.
That fills the space better,
Mhm.
but that's more money too.
Yeah.
all right, so, okay, go ahead.
Again, door here.
Yes, centered right there.
And then steps coming,
So, kind of like a small landing porch right in front of the door, and then steps coming down to this structure right here. So it would meet this back entrance. So the
you're
steps
gonna
would go.
just
Steps are only gonna be
across.
Yeah,
half-
they would.
half the
They would
house.
go
Along the side of that, or the back
yes,
house.
right beside the house, and this would be removed.
So do you know that 4x4 is what it should be?
For the porch,
Landing?
I looked at some codes. I haven't gone extremely into it yet.
Okay.
But that's what it seems to be. But it would be whatever code requires and no bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far would that come out from the wall of the house?
I'm hoping to have it, because there is a window there, enough, like probably about that far, maybe a foot away, so it wouldn't be jutted up right against the house.
Well, it'll have, yeah, I mean, it'll have to be, you have to be able to step out,
Yeah.
so. But the stairs themselves, is that what you're referring to? How close will that be to the house?
What I was looking at is the door is going to open this way.
Right.
And there's going to be a deck or something like,
Only 4 by 4.
4x4.
Yeah, just
So it's just a
just big
porch.
enough to be able to step out
Front porch.
of the house and
Joe,
walk
look
down
at-
the steps.
and then the steps go down.
Yes.
Right.
Look at this
Yeah.
picture, Joe.
Ah, that makes
Shows it
sense.
a little bit
So-
better.
Steps, Joe, are gonna be not starting, they're gonna be starting here, coming down.
And coming
Not-
down. but
Not
there'll
coming
be a-
straight out.
They're gonna
Right
be
here,
coming
4 by
across.
4
Yeah.
deck.
This
Yeah,
picture.
right.
Right. Little landing.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not even big enough to put like a chair or something out there, just enough to put
Right.
the groceries up there.
To
and-
step.
Yeah.
So all of this structure, the landing and the stairs, that's all gonna be the Trex?
So it would be, of course, made out of wood, the structure.
Okay.
But then the stairs, the treads
Stairs.
themselves would be that.
Okay, gotcha.
And then, like to cover the wood, it would be like a PVC trim finish, which is sold along with Trex.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that can be painted to match the other trim that's going to be around the house in that blue-gray.
You don't think you could buy it that color, huh?
Not the PVC trim, I don't
Oh,
think.
okay.
Yeah. Because
That
it
way you
just,
wouldn't have to worry about, because painting PVC,
Yeah,
yes.
once you paint it,
Yeah.
the rest of your life you're gonna paint that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Trex sample should be in there. It's just a wood tone.
Any more questions on the decking and then?
Oh, and the railing will also be, I think I added that in there, like a aluminum metal black railing.
Yeah, that's here.
What's behind
So
the white structure?
there's a door.
Is it brick?
It's brick just on the house. The white structure itself is just plywood
Yeah, oh
on the
yeah.
exterior, and there's a small concrete step,
Okay.
which would be enclosed by the landing that goes there, which would be
Okay.
a wooden landing on pylons.
Okay.
And all that would go,
Yes, so
they'd just be covered with the,
yes, I'm hoping, like, I don't quite see the reasoning for the white trim that they have around there. To me, it just looks like an extra piece of wood that they put on the outside.
if it's flashing, you
Yeah.
won't be able to paint it well.
Right. So I'm hoping just to replace all of that
Yeah, that
with
makes
this, and then trim the bottom larger portion out in that blue-gray, just to kind of,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah.
It's interesting the way that whatever, flashing, whatever,
Yeah.
cuts
'Cause it-
here and then
And like
the other
the,
side
the
too.
back.
this portion too,
Yeah, it's
right
on the
here.
other side too.
Yeah, it,
On Oregon.
some of the green also is like connected to the brick. So
Uh-huh.
I have no idea what I'm gonna find when
ready to
it's there.
discover.
It's, whoever
I know.
redid that did not do a good job.
Yeah, because it does look like this
Jamie, go to your
Straight
side
level.
picture.
it sticks out, it extends out
Yeah,
past the brick here.
Oh,
Like that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see how it sticks out there.
Yeah.
It has like a little lip.
yeah.
I have a feeling it's flashing. Just to
Yeah,
keep,
and then
Yeah.
The water from hitting the
there's
wood.
Sure,
a
that's
piece that
Probably
looks
dripping
like
off
it's
the
painted
roof.
green
Yeah.
maybe, or something.
It's probably just dripping off the roof there.
Yeah, and the cedar,
And then it's just like a fascia.
I've been cleaning up the yard this past week, and I found a bunch of cedar shakes
Sure.
all around. They've been
Yeah.
falling off.
It might have been wood at one time, and that rotted and came off, and then they put
Put-
vinyl around it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because there was a function for that, you can tell.
Well, if it
Good
was
grief.
a porch,
That was probably
Yeah.
the floor of the porch.
it was probably the floor of the porch,
And they have,
yes.
what's inside on the floor?
Right now it's carpet, and because I have a tenant up there, I haven't been able to check underneath.
That'll
Sure.
be a
The
surprise,
ceiling
too.
is the tongue and groove.
Yeah, it
wooden.
was definitely a
Yeah.
porch,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, are we ready?
I think we're
All right.
ready.
All right.
Go ahead, you're on a roll.
Am I? I don't know, do we have any exceptions or anything?
No.
I don't think we have
Any amendments?
Does
So what are we
anyone-
covering here? We're covering the whole,
We're covering
The rear of
everything
the
that's
house.
in
Rear of
this
the house.
section.
okay.
I'll make a motion concerning the rear of the house. We've studied the application and all relevant documents and presentation related to this case, and I'm familiar with the property in question. Find that the proposed changes are compatible with the neighborhood because there is a general compatibility of exterior design, scale, proportion, arrangement, texture, and materials to be used. Based on these findings, I move to approve the proposal because the use of exterior materials are similar in appearance to original materials or significant buildings in the district pursuant to section 41J1C.
I'll second that one.
All right, any other comments?
Yeah, looking at the exit that is going to be provided, including this stairs, I guess the question is, are there any codes that apply to it by itself?
There definitely would
And it's
be,
gonna be determined by how high it is too.
Yeah.
so
That I would-
Jamie, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so you're approving like the
Design,
design and
Right.
character of it.
but not the code.
After this,
Code
we'll
leaving
go,
to you.
yeah, then it goes to the permit
Permitting.
process,
Right.
and then the inspector would have to approve if it's up to
Correct.
code.
Yeah. Okay.
Any more discussion?
Second?
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, the rear of the house items are approved. All right, so this is our last section, correct? Okay.
Next, well, backyard and parking.
Right, backyard and parking is our last section that we're gonna
Well, and
talk
also the
about.
charging station, so I guess that's part of it all.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you want to tell us a bit about the fence? We can
Yes.
start there.
So let me actually grab my phone. Didn't provide a good enough photo. So for the fence, I'm looking to do just a simple design like that with a post and the metal fence being stretched.
Okay. That's what this picture is?
Yes,
That's
so
a
that
roll
that would be the material, and same with the round post. It looks similar. There's one on Frost Avenue that has like the 3 pieces of wood that go down encased with that metal. So it would be similar to that, but not identical. So that would stretch. I think I said like 40 feet back. I think it's on this one.
Yes.
And then it's
40 by 22
okay.
is
Yes.
what's on here, yeah.
With a few gates.
I think this one
In
is
that area.
yours.
And what are the gates going to be?
So the gates, I haven't decided just because it would probably be hand-built wooden gate without the metal material. So it would just be kind of solid wood with slats. But it would go with the character of the fence and the house.
I'm sorry, could you show me the post again, or the
Yes,
example?
I think there should be an example of the post, but I can show you this.
There's one on the back of the,
It's just a round post.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
wooden post.
And the fence would be, I think it's 5 foot tall, just because of
5
the size
foot
of the
high.
dog. and the posts would be cut just a little bit above
Mm-hmm.
that 5 foot.
Okay.
And the material of the fencing is what?
It's that metal.
And is that chicken wire?
No.
That's
It's,
why I asked.
yeah, no, I don't know what the exact, I don't know what it's called, but it's not chicken wire.
Okay.
Yeah, they would look just like that. Yeah.
Chicken
So the
wire would look
squares are about,
like honeycomb. A chicken wire would look like
Yeah.
honeycombs.
this is, the squares would be
It's
about that
squares.
tall,
They're
about that
rectangular.
wide. Yeah. Yeah, and you might know, I guess there's fencing codes, correct,
There are,
for height and,
there are.
Yeah, for height, you can do 6 feet everywhere but the front yard setback.
okay,
That it would have to be 4 feet.
okay,
But if you're doing only
In
in
the
the
back.
rear, then it can be up to 6 feet.
okay. So it'd be 5.
And you said a wooden solid gate.
Yes. And there would be one, I'm thinking though, the gates are kind of still in question. I would like to put one on Ormond.
Mm-hmm.
That one might change.
Yeah.
And a larger
Large
one
one
in the
here.
back, just to be able to get a vehicle in for mulch and
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. And then a smaller one to use daily to exit to get to the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 gates in total.
How far does your property?
My property
Run
extends, yeah, there should be a, yeah, it extends, you can actually see in the one photo where the survey stick is. It might be, yeah. So pretty much right,
Right.
no, if you go back to the right, Jamie, right where like the entrance to the driveway is. Pretty much right here.
Oh, okay.
And then straight.
And then the
back.
city owns the lot
It's,
next to that.
The Lorenzo and Tammy,
Yes.
what is their last name? Starts with an S. They own, yes, yeah, they purchased that. So I have the right of way there,
Oh, okay.
but they still own that.
That's what I
Okay,
was
gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
it's
was.
just basically parking for them, or?
Yes, I believe for their daughter who lives by the big room.
Yes.
in the fire station.
Yeah.
And you're putting the charging station,
So the Charger, I'm planning, how the cars are parked, they're not gonna be parked like that, just because there's gonna be another car, so there'll be 3 cars total there, and they wouldn't fit. So they're gonna be parked, facing this fence over here,
Oh, I see.
instead of
Okay.
facing the house.
Uh-huh.
And the charging post, which I provided, would just be cemented into the ground,
Okay.
right there, closest to the fence.
Okay. So here, you kind of labeled it here.
Yeah,
On the.
yeah, so the cars would face
EV.
towards Main Street.
Mm-hmm. So the other cars would park that way.
And the driveway footprint should remain the same. I can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
All my measurements allow for 3 cars in there, so.
yeah, so you have the right of way for that entrance into the parking area, right?
Yes, correct.
How many electric vehicles will you be parking there?
As of right now, just 1, but I'm sure the next one will be either a plug-in hybrid or electric, so 2. But there'll only be 1 charger.
Okay.
Do you have, is there a setback from the building corner that you're going to
So,
do with the fence, or is that regulated by code, Jamie?
Net fencing can be right up to the property line.
Okay.
and I'm hoping, so the fence would be put in before the deck and steps are put in. up
Oh,
above,
okay.
Just because I'm gonna be moving in there before
Gotcha.
that is built.
Yes.
So my plan is, I'll put in the same material right there, butted up against the house. But then whenever the posts get put in for that upper deck structure, the fence would line up right with that, and I would remove the wooden posts there, so it would just all
Oh,
kind of
okay.
blend together.
I see. Okay.
So Bill, who all is gonna do this work?
I am. A lot of work.
That's what I was wondering.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
You got a lot of work ahead of you.
Teacher summer job.
Yes. I'm a shop teacher too, so it fits.
Oh,
Well, there you go, you're ready.
Yeah.
should have led with that.
This is the first house you've tackled.
It is, but I'm gonna have my father with me, so he's done many.
So we ready for a motion?
I think, when you make the motion, I think you just need to mention the EV. I'm not sure it's,
The gates.
I think the gates are on there.
Yeah, I think we need to just maybe, can that be a staff approval, the gates? Like, once you determine the gate, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I know that the
You meant the EV,
Yeah,
I mean, as long as
you meant
you're,
the EV station.
Oh, the station,
'Cause
okay.
I don't
yeah,
think
that's what
I
I
don't think
was,
that's literally listed in here.
and there should just be like a black pedestal that I
Yeah.
provided, but
Yeah, I
it doesn't
think-
really stick out.
no.
Everything
no.
will be buried for it. And
I just wanna make
Yeah.
sure we're covering
Yep.
everything. Does anyone have any other
No.
questions? Okay, so, if we're done with discussion, can I have a motion?
I'd be happy to do a motion on this last part. I've studied the application, all relevant documents and presentation relevant to the case. I'm familiar with the property in question. I find the proposed changes are compatible with the neighborhood because general compatibility of exterior design, scale, proportion, arrangement, texture, and materials to be used. Based on these findings, I move to approve the proposal for the backyard and parking area, which includes a fenced installation with wooden post and metal fencing as specified in the material list, and gates, including one small gate for access on the Ormond Street side, one small gate for access to the rear parking area, one larger vehicle size gate to allow maintenance vehicles access, and a electric vehicle charging station with conduct installation, which would be trenched in place. Chargement placement would be a small black pedestal housing the charger and cable near the vehicle parking area. And after installation, the trench will be refilled with soil and seeded. And utility clearance has been contacted, and no obstacles are there to interfere with the planned excavation. I think that's all.
A second.
The one thing that I think we should add is, it doesn't talk, there's two things that we discussed that wasn't in the actual write-up. We talked about how high the fence would be, and then we also talked about the, materials for the gates, and that's not specified, in here. So if we could amend the motion, to include those two items.
If I may amend my own motion. The gates in question would be made of wood. The fencing would be a total of 5 feet high. Did I get everything?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, hearing none opposed, is approved.
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be watching carefully to see you doing all this work, Bill.
How long have you had that house?
I've had it since end of August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so pretty recent.
That's a nice house.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very busy summer
That's for sure.
and fall.
Yeah, yes, I think you're right.
Christmas Day is the final opening and
Yes.
everything.
Yeah, plus all the interior painting,
Oh,
ripping
Yes.
out carpets.
Thanks so much.
Thank
all
you.
right,
Thank you.
thank you very much. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. And now would I just come by to do the permit?
Yeah, for the
So,
permit,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you here all week?
Yes, I
Okay.
should be here,
Like
You're
that
all
was a big
Wednesday
project.
morning.
I
Yes.
didn't see that.
But,
I was like,
After you-
whoo-wee.
Oh, I thought it was this, and I
All right.
thought,
Yes.
I'll see you this week.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
right,
Thanks, guys.
you're off all
thank
week,
Thank
aren't
you.
thanks.
Better get work, yeah, better get to work right now. Yeah, that was a very comprehensive project that
Yeah,
he's
well,
taking on.
He's a teacher. He knows how to pull it out.
He's a shop teacher, no less.
All right, do we have any old business?
We have a bunch of pictures in here that are of a different place.
But he was showing, I think examples. of-
Examples
Oh,
of
yeah,
windows.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, we do have some new business, though. We have some administrative approvals.
Yeah, just two this month, or, yeah, for this meeting. 64 Frost Avenue, the installation of an in-ground swimming pool in the rear yard, and 33 South Broadway, which is the church right next to us. They recently did an in-kind
Oh, okay.
replacement.
Where actually is 64 Broadway in relation to anything?
It's, I believe,
It's
two houses
down
up
from
Frost.
Chestnut.
If you're going up,
You're
Frost is
going,
on
it's
the
on
left?
the
or-
left,
On the left.
left going up, it's next to the Frost Mansion.
Might be
Oh,
one
okay.
house in
So
between,
Jenkins
I
is-
think.
Jenkins is
Jenkins
old
is
house.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I thought it would be, okay.
All right. Commissioners, do you have anything else to add or discuss this evening?
Oh, well,
No.
thank you for Bethany providing the update on projects that are taking place. That was very useful.
Yeah,
I'd encourage her to include those for succeeding.
I believe she is planning on that.
That's
so.
good.
Great,
Very good, very good.
good. All right, if there's nothing further, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, please say
Aye.
aye.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned.
Wow.
Jamie,
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
It's
you.
good to have business.
I think it was Facebook.
Only took an
We're
hour.
talking about.
I'm surprised. That was a lot.
That could've went
Tear
along.
That
down
wasn't
the
too
people.
bad. I'm glad he did that little outline. so we
Yes,
were-
I was thinking, oh my gosh, how are we going to divide
Same.
this up?
Same.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
You kinda
Yeah.
did it
And then
for
you
us,
can
so-
go into so many directions.